and welcome back to the Clinical Trials podcast series by Empower Clinics, where we explore the fascinating world of Empower's research and clinical trials initiatives. This is episode 3, and we are excited to continue our exploration of the world of research and clinical trials. In this episode, we will delve a little deeper into the basics of research and clinical trials, focusing on acronyms and definitions. We understand that the world of research can be filled with technical jargon that can be challenging. Our goal in this episode is to provide you with educational content that will help you better understand the terminology and the concepts in research and clinical trials. Join us in this educational journey as we demystify the world of research and clinical trials. Thank you for tuning in to episode 3. With me, I have Steve McCauley. He is the chairman and CEO of Empower Clinics. I am your host, Regina, from Pulse IR by Phoebe. Steve, let's get started on all of these different acronyms and definitions. Explain to us, what is a sponsor?
Well, thank you, Regina. So first, a sponsor is a person, a company, an institution, a group, or an organization that oversees or pays for a clinical trial and collects and analyzes the data. Now, this can be government agencies such as National Institute of Health or Department of Defense or Department of Veterans Affairs. It can be private individuals, companies, organizations. Typically, we see, particularly in the United States, big pharmaceutical companies, biotechnology companies, and medical device companies. All research requires a sponsor. The sponsor is the individual or company or institution that takes legal responsibility for the initiation, management, and financing of the research. The sponsor defines the direction of the business, establishing the environment best suited to achieve program objectives, setting and demonstrating the behaviors necessary to support the change, providing the top-level commitment and involvement necessary to implement the trial itself. Now, for starters, a sponsor is exactly what it sounds like. They sponsor clinical research studies. A sponsor may or may not choose to use a CRO, which is a clinical research organization, or another term is contract research organization. Basically, a CRO is the middleman between the sponsor and the research sites.
Okay, so you use there your first acronym, a CRO. Explain to us, what is a CRO?
So CROs are companies that offer research services on a contract basis to various pharmaceutical and biotechnology companies or medical device companies or academic institutes. These services can include clinical research services, early phase development, laboratory services, consulting services, and data management services. A sponsor, for example, a company investigating the safety and efficacy of new drugs, therapies, or medical devices, partners with a CRO on a contractual or project-by-project basis. The CRO provides advice and guidance for planning, designing, and executing clinical trials. It offers a comprehensive and diverse range of services for each phase of the clinical trials. And the global CRO services market is a massive industry. There are many public companies now that are traded on NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange that actually have tens of billions of dollars in market cap. They are a big part of the industry, given that today many, or perhaps now most, clinical trials are actually outsourced by the sponsor.
Okay, so let's cover the next acronym. We understand a CRO. What is an SMO?
So an SMO, that's a very interesting one, and that's really where we fit. This is where Empower wants to develop its specialty and expertise. So an SMO is a site management organization. It's a company that provides clinical trial management services to the industry. The SMO helps sponsors streamline their administrative processes while ensuring that all regulatory requirements are met. They also support the CROs and clinical investigators at the site with startup, monitoring, and closeout responsibilities.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about these trial management services. Explain to us, what are the benefits of working with a site management organization?
Yeah, very important question. So SMOs can reduce trial timelines and costs and lead to more efficient and accurate trial results through a full range of services. And these can include documentation preparation, recruitment materials, contracts, legal agreements, etc. Definitely managing patient recruitment and monitoring of the patient while they're in their trial, identifying and managing investigators and sub-investigators, managing and fulfilling staff requirements and recruitment, preparing institutional review board submissions, assisting with trial startup and initiation and closeout operations. So site management organizations are an integral part of clinical trials. Clinical trials are the pathway to new advancements in medicine reaching patients. The goal of bringing new treatments to market is to provide those suffering from medical ailments and diseases the opportunity to live happier and healthier lives. There are many people involved in clinical trials, all of which play an essential role in the trial's overall success. And one of these key players is the site management organization. And at Empower, we really feel that playing this critical role in the research and clinical trial sector is exactly where we need to be.
Thank you for that explanation, Steve, and thank you for breaking down the acronyms and the different definitions that you have in this industry. Thank you, listener, for joining us on episode 3 of the Clinical Trial Series by Empower Clinics. We hope that you found this educational and you gained a better understanding of the basics of research and clinical trials. We covered a lot of ground in this episode, including the most common acronyms and definitions used in the topic. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to continue this educational journey in future episodes. Stay tuned for episode 4, where we will wrap up the series with the discussions on key components, Empower's roles and responsibilities, and how the business model plays out. You don't want to miss out. Thank you, Steve, for joining us today, and I am Regina from Pulse IR by Phoebe. For more information, please visit pulseir.com. See you next time.